Hello fellow Discussables. This week we were given the option of laws and what we would change about them. What a wonderfully potential controversial subject. Thanks, James. So, as I'm the first one to properly discuss this, I guess I should start off. And it seems that most of mine are actually negative. I did have to write a list, and it's currently up on the screen. So, if I keep on looking up and away, it's because I'm trying to look at that list. So yeah, first one I'd do: human cloning. I'd make it legal, obviously. Anything that you want to do to improve the sciences and human knowledge, I'm all for it. And there's very little ethical questioning about it. If you create a new life using their stem cells and their identical DNA, it does not make them an identical person. A person is your memories, your experiences. For instance, if someone cloned me, fucking don't know why they would do that, but if someone did clone me, they wouldn't be me. Sure, they'd have my exact DNA, but it's their experiences what shape them. Probably they would also be geeky and nerdy if they had relatively same upbringing of the mostly love and encouragement for your weird nerdy practices, but still wouldn't be me. I think it's a good idea, and it could do the whole world a lot of good, especially when it comes to cloning organs, because people are weird about not giving away their organs. They think they're a precious thing. They're weird. Similarly, I would probably make organ donation upon death compulsory. You know, it's a good idea to recycle, well, corpses. There's no sense in burying your body and just let it rot. You know, we need to recycle. We need to do it properly, and that includes recycling the thousands upon thousands and thousands of bodies, which also, coincidentally, frees up a metric fuck ton of space. Just land mass, which aren't going to be dedicated to cemeteries anymore, which is an outdated idea anyway. But leading on to my next thing is the right to die. Now, not everyone should die for any particular reason, you know, but everyone should have the right to kill themselves. The idea of suicide has always been looked on negatively, mainly because of religion, but some people, famous people for instance, which I can't think of the name of right now, but it will come to me in a minute, you know, they're losing their ability, their reason for existence, and if they can't do what they love anymore, then yeah, go for it, die. There was someone recently in the news who had a case of, well, effectively they were trapped inside their own mind. Their body was not working, and they eventually starved themselves to death because the United Kingdom courts ruled that he had no right to die. Hate to, you know, burst the UK courts bubble, but everyone fucking dies. If someone wants to do it a wee bit earlier than their body wants to, then you know, it's not your point to tell them no. Similarly, going on to religion, I would make organised religion illegal. All of it. All of the major religions, all of the minor religions, all of the sects, all of the cults, all of this bullshit, I would outlaw completely. I'd keep the churches and the beautiful places of worship that actually have been built and have lasted hundreds and hundreds of years, because it's architecture, it's history, it's wonderful. However, organised religion caused more wars, more pain, more suffering, more angst than anything the humans could devise. Hell, the Middle East is pretty much, our God's dick is bigger than your God's dick. Essentially. That's pretty much what it is. You don't believe in what we believe, so we shall kill you. Despite the majority of texts that I have read is, in a nutshell, don't be a cunt, tolerate other people, be nice. You know, it doesn't really say, go kill this bastard because he doesn't believe in me. If you want to have an imaginary friend, great. Just don't try to base a society around laws and ideas which are thousands of years old and completely outdated thanks to science. Speaking of science, I'd limit the world's population, or I should say I would limit their breeding capacity. So, one child per family, sort of. Kind of the Chinese idea. They do it well, just kind of the whole idea of you wanting lots more men than women has kind of introduced some negative feedback into that system, but it's still a damn good idea. We have 7 billion people on this planet, and it's continuing to grow. People and mathematicians, scientists have basically worked out that we shall be about 9 billion human beings by about 2050, which that's an insane amount. There are more people living right now than there have ever lived, ever, which blows my mind. But I would limit the children, especially people who just have many children and then are a drain on the state and must be shot. Yes, I approve, Riker, I approve. So, the next thing, because we are slowly using the tangential links, governments, taxes. Things they should keep their fucking hands off. Inheritance tax. Now, some of you might not be aware, this is a sort of tax that occurs when, say, a loved one, a friend, leaves you something in their will. If it's money, if it's a building, if it's property or land, the government will tax you on it. Despite the fact that they have no right to. Someone died and decided, I shall give my possessions that I've earned, hopefully, to another person. Yeah, the government will step in and go, we want a slice of this cake. No, bad government, it's my cake, you can't fucking have my cake. Mine. It's all chocolatey and full of caramel. Exactly. It's my fucking cake. You can't have it. I know. So, another thing to do with tax. The tax avoidance loopholes. Now, the government lose several billion. I say lose. They don't have access to these several billion pounds sterling, because I'm British, every single year, because people go to these tax havens where the tax percentage for their yearly income is considerably less. So, say if I earned £1 million a year, I know it will never happen, but say if I did, there would be a 50% income tax on that, so I'd only earn about 500,000. That's, of course, before you get into all the potential deductions and whatnot for that. So, I'd probably earn about £600,000 a year. Now, I'm okay with giving the government 400,000-ish pounds per year for people like myself currently, who sadly cannot work, not through any choice of my own, but there are other people who literally cannot work, and there should be a safety net. Granted, some people are abusing the safety net, and it is a minority more than a majority, but there should be that safety net. And if lots of the rich fuckers don't put money into this safety net, then there's no way that the lower classes and even middle classes can survive. And then the rich people will no longer be rich, because they won't have anyone to put all their shit upon. Which leads me to another point: education. Now, it used to be just for the wealthy white males of this world. Thankfully, sense has seen through. We have people of all ethnicities, all genders, attending education, and for the most part it's free. Until you get past the age of 18, then at the moment you've got to pay about £9,000, up to £9,000 per year for a 3 or 4 year course. And if you're going to do medicine or something like that, which I intend to do, you'll be paying that for 5 or 6 years. That's if you don't cock up a year. If you cock up a year, you still have to pay for that year. To be fair, it is your own fault. But initially, that was largely subsidised. So, I would make sure that at the very most, you didn't have to pay more than, say, £1,000 a year. So the majority of it was subsidised. Yes, I understand inflation and shit like that, but it is... recent data has actually shown that there has been an 11% drop in applications for universities this year in England, or I should say the United Kingdom alone. Scotland has got it right, to be honest. You give it free for your own people, and if someone else wants to come in, well, if they want to pay, then yay. But anyway, education should be largely subsidised. And I've ranted on for far too long, so I shall see what you all have to say. If you want to comment or anything, do so in the thing below, and I shall see you next Wednesday. Bye bye.